In this video we're going to talk a little bit more about the tests and how to get to a place to where life is completely smooth sailing at all times. Of course, that might not really be possible, but if you understand what I'm about to say in this video, then you can always grow, always increase your experience of smooth sailing and live a much better life. A life without any internal fighting, at least minimize it. A life where things are working out quickly and efficiently. A life without annoyance, fighting with people, struggling with figuring out the truth in small different situations in life, the bigger truth. You see, when you understand that Source is completely free, Source is neutral, Source is like this at all times, no matter what it should be. And in the journey towards complete freedom, we're going to learn to be like that internally to the fullest extent in any situation in life. So imagine now that Source, pure Source, was in this game. How would the rest of the world, the people, for example, reflect Source? What type of experiences can you possibly have with all of the people all around? Let's say that you have some friends. What will these friends behave like if you were pure Source? Now let's say that you weren't pure Source. You were, let's say, a low frequency Source player. You had a lot of anger within, a lot of judgment. You were judging in all areas of life, and so on. You know, birds of a feather flock together. You can understand that the friends of a person like that would be pretty much the same. They would reflect that type of a person, and they would also be judging. They would be cursing a lot. They would essentially just be pretty much the same as that Source player. Now let's go back to the pure Source energy within the game again. A Source player that is pure Source, how will his friends be reflecting him? If pure Source is infinitely kind, completely respectful, there is no judgment, whatever his friends want to believe or think or do, there is no judgment whatsoever. And then you have the rest of life when they are out in traffic, and we would prefer that people drive nicely. But if someone doesn't, then we are completely neutral about it. We don't judge it. If someone is behaving a little strange or weird or doing unreasonable things, there is no judgment, nothing whatsoever. Essentially, I'm painting two pictures here. Try to understand that the world that you are experiencing is a reflection of you. It's a reflection of you on many different points throughout the day. In these different areas of the day, you might interact with many different types of situations. Not necessarily just the situations that are presenting themselves in front of you, literally, but mindsets to all sorts of different things. And you might at many times throughout the day get reflections from people where they are really nice, where they are as good as they could ever be. You could ask nothing more of them. Sometimes, some other times you might see that they aren't necessarily behaving as nicely as you would have preferred. Of course, this is because maybe you have something within you. You can consider this a test. How do you deal with that? But you see that besides all those situations where, let's say, people are behaving perfectly nice, you will have situations where people maybe aren't. And I'm using just people now as an example, just to make this simple. And in all of these situations where people aren't behaving so really nice, you could consider it a test. Let's see, other type of tests we could have. You're in traffic and it's a little hectic and you're getting stressed. Those type of situations are tests. Because of course you don't want to be stressed in traffic. You want to have a nice experience. Maybe you could get tested in the same way in the store. Sometimes it's hectic, a lot of people, you're getting a little stressed. You can think of that as a test if you want to, because of course you want it to be a nice experience. Then maybe you want to create something, build something, make a song. Can you do it? You might get a little stressed. That's a test. You see, life is so full of these tests. It's something that's going to happen throughout the whole day. Especially if you want to be completely free. If you want to have this experience of being pure source in this game, where there is no judgment, there is no disrespect, there is no fear, there is no expectations. You see, to be truly free, you're going to have to do a lot of work. And of course the work is about dealing with all the fear, dealing with all the disrespect, dealing with all the judgment, whatever it should be that is low frequency, so that you rather can be completely neutral and free. Such a big part of the journey, the day, is about remembering that anything that you might experience that is something that you maybe don't want to experience is a reflection of what you have going on inside. It really is. Try not to fool yourself. It's easy to forget sometimes because it's very immersive. It seems very real. Why did they look at me like that? Couldn't they at least smile? You know. But what was it inside you that created that situation? It is possible to have the absolute best experience ever with anyone, no matter who it should be. If it should be the toughest, most badass people, or the youngest children, or if it should be old people, or if it should be your neighbors or someone you just met, you can really, genuinely respect all of them, have no judgment whatsoever, even like them, be in a highest frequency where you see the situation for what it is, where you might want to do anything for them, whatever it should be. You can understand that a mindset like that is going to create a totally different energy in the space around us. Let's say that I'm hanging with someone, let's say I met someone in the store. I've never seen them before, but I understand the highest frequencies. I understand that they are a reflection of me. This is a illusion, dream state, reality, where they have shown up because I resonated with it for some reason. If I'm ready to fully appreciate that experience, and I choose to do so, I choose to appreciate it, I choose to be of service to them fully and completely, to not judge them, to even like them, that's going to create a very amazing energy. They are going to behave in a totally different way in that type of energy compared to if I don't like them, I want them to go away, leave me alone, and energetically I'm kind of pushing. Do you understand? This is the type of a frequency we would like to have in all areas of life. If it should be in traffic, if it should be whatever it should be, all of them. If you want to be free completely in all of them, you need to have this type of freedom within you. You're going to have to work on your mind in every area of life. If you want to create something, you don't want to sit there and struggle. That is not as fun as being completely free-flowing, to be able to just create it. Of course, it's a beautiful part of the journey to go through the struggle and to learn that you can't force it. Stay happy, know what you want, know what it looks like, believe in yourself. You know, that part of the journey where you really gain the powers is amazing. It's nothing to hurry past it, hurry through it, but we don't want to stay there forever. Of course not. We want to get to the point to where we are completely free, and we do that by knowing what we want. If you want to be completely free-flowing source in this game, then that's what you intend for, and try to stay aware to the best of your ability. Don't fool yourself. If something is happening, that could be in the store, when you meet someone that was rude, or when you struggle to write a song, or when you struggle to create anything, or struggle to be in complete happiness and cloud 9, when it's completely amazing, you know, then you have something within you. And instead of running a fit, you need to take a look at it, forgive, see if there is any judgment, see if you can change your mind. I bet you can, because you have to. You have no choice. If you're going to be free, you have to change your mind. You have locked in on something there for one or another reason. It's trauma. It might have happened a long time ago, that you maybe believed that it's difficult to write songs, it's not meant to happen in 10 minutes, and that's just the way it is, and we just have to live with it. You know, you might have a lot of ideas in your mind, and you need to catch them, and you need to compare them with the truth. The truth that you are going to work hard to understand fully and completely. The truth of infinite freedom, infinite source in the moment, complete neutrality, where everything is possible with just your intent. You know, to truly be free like that in this game, in every area of life, is absolutely possible. You can do it. You know, and when you have gotten to that place, you will see that you can always fine-tune a little bit. But when you are there, you're not going to run into any big unfortunate situations in life, that's for sure. There might sometimes be something that isn't as nice as it could have been, but at that point you recognize it. You recognize what it was, you're past the point of judging for it, or blaming others, I mean, and you just straighten it out. Now, if you have benefited from this video, kindly consider becoming a supporter. Abundance, health and prosperity to you. Thank you so much. We're going to start off by talking about a little exercise. It's a very simple little exercise. What you're going to get from this exercise is a very positive mind, where you have become very good at recognizing the beautiful things in life. Of course, we want to be happy in this game. We want to have a great experience. We want to have a good time. Now, there is good time all around, and there has always been. Many people, they don't really notice, and many of them, they might have expected that it was going to look like something else. I bet everything I have that you have had a good time today, and you might completely disagree, and that is totally fine, but I know you have had a good time. You just might not have been able to recognize it. And in this video, we're essentially going to talk about an exercise that is going to make you very aware of how good of a time you really have. The exercise is simply to just sit down and think a little bit, reflect on your day up until now, and maybe take note of good things that happened. A negative mind will have had pretty much equally as many good things happen. They have just been focusing on the negative. And that's not going to lead to a lot of happiness. They're going to have a certain type of attitude towards life, even though they really don't have to. They could have looked at the good things instead and had a totally different life experience. So, it doesn't all have to be really big things. It can be really small ones. Maybe you ate an orange and you really liked it because it was a very good orange. You know, it can be all sorts of things. There is, you can take note of anything you want. What really matters here is that you practice, and you are going to come across many things that happened today that was very good things that you really appreciate. You might even find some big ones. Try to be positive now. You know, do your best. See if you can find 10 things that happened today that you really appreciate.